To peg or not to peg? Boy, I tell you what, that is one question that I get asked all the time. Well, I don't think anybody is going to argue with the fact that Texas Rigging Soft Plastics is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, way to fish for bass. It just works. I don't care where you're at. It does a great job of getting that lure into all sorts of different type of cover. And oftentimes we'll hear about people, they'll say, well, should I be pegging this weight or not pegging it? And I'm just going to say that if you can get away with not pegging it, I definitely think that is the better route to go. And here is why. So let me go ahead and pull out some hooks and weights right here for you. One, I've been starting to use these like Trokar TK130 hooks, and that gap right there for getting penetration is just really good. I've used the extra wide gaps for a long time, the EWG stuff, but I'm really starting to like these, and also because of the bait keeper right on here, just phenomenal. But anyway, I get off to the side. So this is the flipping hook that I've been using, and let's say I've got this tungsten weight right here. If that weight can slide up that line, or when that bait is dropping through the water and that weight slides down away from it, it separates itself from the bait. And then if the fish, if they grab it on the drop, or it's down there on the bottom scooting along, as it's moving across the bottom, depending how you pop it or if it snags up on something, there is a little bit of separation that happens right here, and the bass is more likely to get just that bait as opposed to getting the weight and the bait as well. And then when you go to set the hook, that weight wants to, you see how it holds my fingers open? Well, it does the same thing with their lips. So just for me personally, if I can get away with not pegging, that is definitely what I prefer to do. Now, there are situations when you do need to peg the weight, okay? If you're fishing really thick emergent vegetation, pegging it so it does not slide around, you almost have to. Otherwise, that lure is going to go ahead and just stay up on top of the water. So the weight's going to slide down, and then that lure is going to stay up there near the top. If you've ever run across that when you're Texas rigging, that is a situation when you need to peg the weight right down there next to the hook. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. I'm a huge fan of these T-pegs, rubber pegs. They work out really well. Of course, you can use a toothpick. I've used a toothpick for a long time. And you can also use these sinker stops as well. So any of those are going to peg the weight really nicely. I will say, when I go ahead and decide to peg it, that is when I'm going to use a snell knot. Okay, and if you would like to watch a video on how to use that snell knot and why I use a snell knot, go ahead and check this one out right here. And hey, don't forget to go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.